On a quiet afternoon in Florida, a man entered an underwater cave system. He was experienced, he was confident, and he was also very well prepared. He swam deep into the darkness and, unfortunately, was never ever seen again. His body was never recovered, his equipment was never found, and according to some of the world's top cave divers, he was not inside that cave. It's midnight somewhere, and tonight I have a story for you. Ben McDaniel was 30 years old. He was intelligent, analytical, and he was also very methodical. Friends described him as quiet, thoughtful, and intensely focused when he decided to commit to something. In 2010, Ben became deeply interested in cave diving, one of the most dangerous forms of diving in the world. Now, cave diving is a very, very unforgiving pastime because there are generally no direct paths to the surface and there's very little to no light down there in the caves. And there's certainly no margin for panic or for error. Mistakes are final, and Ben knew this. Now, the place was called Vortex Spring in Florida, and on the surface, it looked very peaceful, a clear spring surrounded by beautiful trees, and below the surface was something else entirely, a complex cave system. And it was made up of narrow passages and silt that could blind a diver instantly, and distances that disorient even the most seasoned and professional divers. And the cave was clearly marked, advanced divers only. Now, it's important to acknowledge that Ben didn't yet hold a cave diving certification, but being Ben, he was very, very determined. Now, on August 18th, 2010, Ben arrived at Vortex Spring alone, and staff members remembered him as being very, very calm. He spoke very casually, he prepared his gear, and he entered the water, and at some point, he swam towards the cave entrance. Very sadly, that was the last confirmed sighting of Ben McDaniel. Now, when Ben failed to surface, instant concern set in. Search teams entered the cave. They searched methodically, they searched very slowly and also very carefully. And it's worth noting that cave divers are trained to notice everything, even the slightest of details in their environments. But they found nothing. They found no body, they found no equipment, and they also found no disturbance in the silt. The cave appeared completely untouched. Now, as the days passed, the mystery started to deepen. Experienced divers reviewed the case. Some stated something very, very unsettling. If Ben had died inside the cave, they should have found him. Cave environments preserve evidence, bodies don't just simply vanish out of them, and equipment doesn't disappear without any sort of trace. Yet, when they searched for Ben, there was nothing at all. No snagged lines, no tank, no sign that he had ever been there at all. Now, several explanations were considered. One of those was an underwater accident, which was plausible but unsupported by any sort of evidence. There was also the theory of disorientation and panic, like in many cases, but again, there was no trace of Ben or any of his gear down in the cave systems. Some suggested that Ben may have never even entered the cave system at all. Others believe that he might have exited somewhere else unnoticed, but Vortex Spring is monitored and access points are very limited. Nothing fit cleanly around his disappearance. Now, as the case grew colder, tension rose. Ben's family believed that he was still down there in one of the caves, and Ben's family pushed for a much deeper search. Some divers refused, arguing that repeated searches were dangerous and also unnecessary, but years later, a final extremely invasive search was conducted, and once again, not a single thing was found. So, to this day, Ben McDaniel has never ever been found or recovered. No definitive cause was ever determined. No physical explanation fully accounts for his disappearance. The cave remains. Divers still enter it, and somewhere in the dark, the question of what happened to Ben remains totally unanswered. So, Ben McDaniel entered a place where mistakes are permanent, but no mistake was ever found. No body, no equipment, and no proof that he even died there at all. What truly happened to Ben McDaniel has never ever been proven. As normal, let me know down in the comments what you think happened to Ben. I would love to know your thoughts. And make sure you subscribe because I drop new stories every single week. And until then, I'll see you at midnight.